Media presents International Women's Day podcast with Ejiro Eze.
Thank you for joining us on today's podcast. Today, we are celebrating the International Women's Day 2025. My name is Blessing Omebo, and I am a counselor. The International Women's Day, it's an annual event that is celebrated every March 8th. It is a day that is set aside to celebrate women's achievements and foster gender equality. With me on this great show today are two amazing personalities. This is Yuwa Ladishalo. She's a social development practitioner and the immediate past general manager, Edo State Social Investment Programs. Welcome, Yuwa.
Thank you so much.
And we also have Ejiro Eze. She is a counselor whose niches are in family and marriage counseling, mental health, and grief. You're welcome, Ejiro.
Thank you, Blessing.
Let's look at women's rights and empowerment. First, to start with you, Yuwa. What does women's empowerment mean to you, and why is it important today?
Okay, thank you so much for having me on this show today. Women's empowerment is, well, from the word empowerment, to empower. It's any strategy, tool, project, program, or activity that is used to ensure that a woman, and in this term, not just a woman, but a female. So looking at the girls, looking at teenagers, looking at the adult women, that they are lifted up. They are taken from one level, which is usually a lower level, to a higher level. Shows that it takes them. Sometimes it can be a mental empowerment. It can be in terms of physical empowerment, in terms of that which has to do with their health. It also has to do with their skills, livelihood. It also borders around ensuring that in their profession, they don't see themselves as people who are just to be in the kitchen, but people who can actually take on a career and actually move to the apex of their career. And if you see nowadays, unlike maybe 20, 25 years ago, we now see women who are occupying high-level positions as CEO, as board members, as board chairmen in corporate organizations like banks. And so women empowerment is that activity, is that tool, is that process of lifting a woman, of lifting a girl, of lifting a teenager from a lower level to a higher level, and making them understand who they are, bringing out their potentials, bringing out their capacity, and making them know that there's a power that resides in them, sometimes through knowledge, sometimes through training. It's important because everybody has potential. There is nobody that was born, that God created, that doesn't have potential. But it's important to take, if you did sciences, that potential energy and say kinetic energy, it's important to take that potential into action, into making that person achieve the purpose for which God created that person. And everybody has their own purpose. There are different sectors and different phases and different areas that one can excel. So it's important to, first of all, make them know, especially here in our climate, in African climate, it's apart from the fact that a lot of work has been done right from the Beijing, Declaration and Beijing Prayer Conference. In the African climate, women were just to be seen and not heard. In fact, in some communities, they're not to be seen at all. Those days in traditional marriages in Benin, the woman who gave birth to that child, especially if there's a girl child or that they're doing the traditional wedding in the house, the woman who carried that girl child for 9 months in her womb, sometimes now they have months, they would tell that woman to sit at the back while you men are the ones making the decision. Even in my tradition, he said like exactly. But the women are just like tools. But they're saying no. There's potential in them. And if you give them the right skills, the right knowledge, the right information, they would turn out to be useful persons in the society. And you can see that. Look at Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, and she's making us so proud. The first woman, in fact, first Africa, WTO, come on, what are you talking about? So, it's the cliche, people say it's a cliche. If you train a woman, you train a nation. For me, I don't see that as a cliche. It's actually the truth. When you educate a woman,
She will ensure that everybody around her is educated, is trained, has that capacity developed. So it's important. And we are seeing the values. Many parents even in those states that allowed their children, right from my mother's generation, that allowed their girl children to go to school. They are not regretting that, because those women are people who are holding the society together, who are holding high positions. So women empowerment is good because you see potentials come into life and birth more career women, more ladies that are forces to the reckon with, that are positive influences, and make sure that even your family name is sustained. So even if you are a woman and you get married, they still say she's the daughter of so, and you stand up and say, that's my daughter.
Wow, that's a lot. You know what? I'm actually wondering whether there is this to say it said. I said it all. Like, wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Iwa. Now to you, Ejiro. Okay, so Iwa has really done a very beautiful job. So just maybe in summary, I would say in summary, women empowerment is providing women with opportunities, providing women with resources that enables them to stand alone, enables them to grow and be independent. And then, like she said, there are a lot of benefits. Okay, let me come in from the family perspective. When women are empowered, it reduces abuse in the home. It gives women voices. Women can speak because they have capacity, especially financial capacity. And it also reduces dependence on the man or on the entire family. So the women can actually do one or two things and provide support because they are empowered. So yeah. So let me just leave it there in addition to what she has said.
Thank you so much, Idira. So you are. What are the biggest barrier women still face in seeking empowerment opportunities at workplaces and in the society at large?
So we still have structural barriers and they're different forms. So we have so in workplace, there are still perceived notions that there are positions that only men can take. There are separate perceptions that because of the load of the work, a woman will not be able to do that. Sometimes they may be realistic. For example, sometimes they say this role, they don't need a woman that is a nursing mother because she may not have to put in enough hours. So sometimes they are approached from nine. But those structural apparatus, they feel that this kind of thing, we need a man that will be able to think at our level, that we can hang out, and sometimes you are in some meetings, some discussion, the kind of things that they say. Sometimes people that don't know me will call me, good morning, sir, because they think it's a man. It's a general manager, it's a man. So then I say, hello, it's I'm a woman. Because they feel that for a general manager, it has to be a man. So those stereotypes are still there. So it takes a woman sometimes to do twice as hard the work to put in to let you know that I can do it. However, there are still some places where some people, some men actually believe that a woman give me more results. So not to just say, oh no, that in many places men don't allow women, but to give some men some credit. But those structural barriers still exist. Sometimes the kind of hours expected to put in as a woman, especially a woman who has a family, you may not be able to put in that kind of hour. You have to go and do school work. But a man pays to the end. But they say, this woman, she's always taking an excuse. Then tomorrow, maybe you have an issue with your health, your feelings, how it is, women's children. They say, this is always sick, so I don't want to die. But those kind of things. So, but this man is always there. But the man's wife who is working somewhere else may be complaining. The boss of that woman may be complaining. But so those kind of things, there's still some structural barriers. Then there are still some issues somehow that, especially if you're a young woman, that we, the women ourselves, are our own issues. I know that I don't like to say it, and we don't like to say it, but it's truth. I experience it, because they say, this is young girl. Why is she? She's only, is it only her? Yeah, she's the one they're always calling. Maybe it's something more than that. Yeah. And then wait, another person said, no, she said, I didn't hear her speak. But you see, women, that was the time I came out for a point. Someone said, which one is this one again? Only this one, only this one. Instead of you to say, wow, you are doing well, I'm proud of you.
Instead of women support.
Yes, amen. You say, except that you're feeling it to be that, like, what is it? I meet you and I can do, why do they not call me? Why they always calling you? So this kind of thing. Before you know it, they start sending some kind of messages and trying to, there'll be some times, when there was a committee I was supposed to be on, and somebody that told me, they said, no, don't bring you in, or you will shine you. You bring her here. So, but meanwhile, another man is like, bring you up. That kind of thing. So sometimes we women, as we're not comfortable enough with ourselves yet when we should be. That sister support, we don't have it yet. So I think these are two main issues that would have.
Thank you so much. So from that question, we've been able to highlight two main issues in one. We have structural barriers. Then we have women not supporting women. Have you thought of a society where we support each other wholeheartedly as sisters? What do you think? What are common struggles women face in seeking empowerment within their families? As a family counselor, this is for you.
Yeah. So one of the struggles I will say here is resistance from the family. So the family at times may resist the woman's growth because of power disruption. They'll feel that when a woman is empowered, she's going to outshine her husband. So even the man may be afraid, and just like the women not supporting women, other women too in that same family would tell you, can't you see the way me, I am humble, I'm not doing anything. So even if you don't want to do anything, it is still okay. And that happens to put women down. Another thing again that women have to fight against or women struggle with is the traditional roles of women. So it is believed that women should be caregivers, they should nurture the family, they should clean the house, they should do all of these things. And it's like a stereotype on us women. So in the family space, we are seen to be the principals, or we are seen to be the ones that are the chief participants. We must have to do some of those roles. Another challenge women go through in the family space is financial dependence. So some women, of course, if you don't empower a woman from our earlier discussion, the woman may not be able to do certain things. So financial dependence on a woman is a struggle that a woman may have to go through if she doesn't have anything that she's doing. So if I depend on you to help me become the woman I'm supposed to be, and you resist me by not giving me the adequate support I need financially, I go nowhere. So financial dependence is also a struggle.
Thank you so much, Adrian, for that insight. So now we're going to be looking at mental health support in gender equality. Okay, to you, Adrian, how do traditional gender roles impact mental health in relationship and marriages?
Traditional gender roles. Okay, how it impacts the mental health of women in marriages and family. Okay, so when we talk about the traditional gender roles, it's just like what I explained earlier. For the men are expected to provide, and the women are expected to nurture. That is traditional gender roles. And now this leads to a lot of stress and burnouts over time. So one person is just the sole provider. The man is there to provide. No support from anywhere because it is traditionally fixed on him to provide and the woman is not meant to. And before you know it, the man is suffering, he's stressed out. Some men die out of stress. They become hypertensive. They can't take it all because the woman is not doing anything. It impacts on the mental health, stress and burnout. And also for the woman also. See, nurturing and homekeeping and raising children is not easy. Every woman, we're all women here, it's not easy. We all need support in one way or the other. So that's that traditional gender role of the women doing that. A lot of women have gone down with BP. A lot of women experience all sorts of somatic effects coming from psychological troubles that they go through, stress and trauma that they go through. So let me also add that one of them too is unequal decision making power. Unequal decision making power. When we talk about unequal decision making power, because it is gender role, it's expected that the man takes decision in certain areas and the woman feels like she doesn't have a voice. It reduces her self-esteem. This tells a lot on the mental health of on a lot of women. They feel that they don't have the voice, they can't talk, they can't contribute. Some even ask that, what are you bringing to the table? If you're not bringing anything to the table, then you don't have a voice. You can't contribute. You can't make a decision in this home that will stand. So the self-esteem of a woman is also affected outside burnouts. There is the issue of emotional suppression. Emotional suppression. Men are also stereotyped because we're looking at gender roles and mental health. At times, the men are not allowed to express themselves. Men are kind of conditioned. You don't talk even though you are dying. You are just there. You bear it. You go through the trouble. And the woman also, that is also meant to accommodate and keep quiet and swallow everything, is also suffering mentally. So these are some ways that the gender roles affect the mental health of men and as women.
Thank you so much, Ejiro. Now let's go over to the next question. And in this segment, we'll be looking at men as allies in women's rights and empowerment. So you are. What role should men in this aspect, I'm talking about bosses and colleagues, what role should they play in supporting women's rights and empowerment?
Okay, so we have the Bashis. We call them Bashis, are the ones who support women's empowerment, women's rights advocacy. So even when we're having our International Women's Conference in the Commission on Status of Women at the UN in New York, you see some men who come around and say they support by support contributing that women can do and be more at what they are. So they are the he to she's, and they have the he to she campaigns. So we have many people, or now some people who, male bosses, male colleagues, male friends, who either by way of their own vacation, information, or influence to their mother or a role model, they see that a woman can be more than just being somebody in the house. So they push for women's empowerment and they support, they go all out to say this role, it doesn't have to be a woman, a man that should take it. It can be a woman. And if it's a woman, what do I need to do to support you? So that's more fed. Identify roles that women can take. Identify opportunities. If you see that a woman is good, she's good at technology. Don't say because it's usually men in tech that you just push. What was already men? Well, this lady has interest in tech and you see that she's skilled. I'm okay for her to be there. You can always ask, what way can I support? Do you need training? Do you need exposure? What can I do to support? So for bosses, they can actually work with the HR department to say, this person, all she needs is just some level or some training. Can you just take her for some training? Also, they can have peer mentors, and they could be male. It could be male colleagues who can say, okay, this person has done this. Please let her shadow under you. Show her the work you do. If it's a colleague, you can tell the person, okay, I see that you're not very good in using Excel. I could put you through or PowerPoint. Your presentation yesterday was good, but your presentation slides were not as powerful. I can show you one or two things. So those are the ways identify roles, help in terms of giving that information and training, speak up for them in opportunities, in meetings, in places where decisions are being made.
and maybe the women are out there, speak up. You say, oh, I know that Blessing can do this. Don't you give her the opportunity? Sometimes they may even shout you down and say, oh no, I was thinking that Femi would say, but give Blessing a try. I think she can do it. So, in doing that, you can speak up and what we like to call sponsor or support. Make sure that you do some push. Don't give up. Keep trying. And then while you are sponsoring a person, go behind and be coaching her, teaching her, do this. Do some small work on, come and present to me. Let me hear what you have to say. When that, it takes a lot of effort. I have personally enjoyed that. I have very many male parts. But even at work, I've had male supporter who you believe in me, who say, I think you are stupid. But many of the recommendations I've gotten have been from men. You can do this. Let you be this committee. Oh, and there's not that person that can do it, is you are. And when they say, I have a room for my boss, give it to you are. So because they believe me and they believe that this opportunity, if I give her this opportunity, it will be leverage for her to even achieve more. But other young people to see her and aspire. So that is some of the ways can do so support.
Need to help speak up and support. Men should learn to speak up and support. It's very important. What role do fathers and husbands play in supporting women empowerment in the families? Okay, I will take a cue from what you last points. Husbands can as well support and promote their wives. Not just in the office, even at home. A lot of women are being talked down from the home. Any woman you see that shines outside in the workplace, I tell you, gets her encouragement first from the male in her life at home. So you see some women look very good and they feel their self-esteem is very low because somebody is constantly putting them down at home. So from there, men should give women that emotional support, financial support. Also, men can encourage women to go to school, develop yourself, career development, and education. You can encourage women to try new things. They can also share responsibilities at home with the woman. When a woman is struggling with a lot of work, the husband or fathers can actually help. You can help babysit. Who says a man cannot babysit? A man can help babysit while the woman does other things at home. At times, the responsibilities can be shared, and also they can promote emotional well-being of the woman, making sure that everything that has to make her be okay in her life, whether mentally, whether physically, whether socially, they can provide that support and bring that balance into her life.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Idiro. How can women take action in their own lives to accelerate change and break barriers in their workplaces? How can they take action? What can they do?
I think you need to do need analysis. You do a need gap analysis. What are the things I need? Okay, I don't think as empowered as I should be. What are the needs that I have? Do those needs, identify the challenges, and then begin to also identify the requisite solutions. What do I need to do? If I have a knowledge gap, how do I get that knowledge? If I have to get a mentor, I need to go and get the mentor. If I need to do a course, if I need to get a certificate, if I need to join a community, I need to join maybe associations up that will make me, give me visibility. So you need to do all of that. You need to also, I like to say, do some evaluation, a peer or a colleague evaluation, but you have to ask the right people. What am I not doing well? Why am I not doing this well? What do you think I'm not doing well? Ask the right people. They can tell you that, okay, I think if you put in more effort and all that. When you do that and you work on it, as a Christian, I will tell you that with all of this, you need to pray. No matter what I tell you, I will tell you. In all of it, you need to pray. Because God himself is going to inspire you and lead you to let you know exactly what to do and what areas that you need to make the change. And then what areas that are really your areas of expertise. It's very important. Maybe you can do that physically to say everybody has their own skill sets. Everybody has what they are good at, their talents. Everybody is gifted. So you need to understand what is my own originality. If I'm here, what do they know about me? What do I do the best that no other person can do? And God can help reveal that if you don't already know and help you straighten that. And you can say, God, through the Holy Spirit who lives inside of you, need help you and teach you exactly what to do. So get that and then form a niche for yourself. That way you stand out. You stand out and you make that visibility and you make that impact wherever you go. So it's important that you do that. And then begin to speak about who you are and what you do. I learned that lesson from the Bible, Joseph. Joseph spoke. Even though he only had the dreams, he spoke. I mean, there's people who tell you, don't tell anybody your dream. But Joseph, when he's done for my dreams, what needed where it was. But that's not the only part I learned. Joseph told people in the prison with him, the baker and the butler said, remember me. Did this, I did remember me. And so it's important you speak and say, I can do this. I can do that. I remember I told somebody, I said, I also do compare, just in case you have an opportunity. And that's how he made me to be one of the compares for the National Sports Festival that held in Edo State. But if I didn't say it, he will never know. So it's important that you speak out.
A family counselor. Actually, the principles are the same. Okay, the principles are the same. So for accelerating action, which is our theme for this year's International Women's Day celebration, women will need to prioritize personal development and growth, which she also said. That is why I say the principles are the same. Prioritize personal development. Learn. Don't just be comfortable where you have always been. Where you have always been has not worked. And if it hasn't worked, then step up. Take action. We're talking about women accelerating action. Set boundaries. Say no to unrealistic needs. Anything that you know you cannot do, be bold enough as a woman to say no and step up to say yes in areas where you can. And lastly, I would say every woman should build financial capacity and financial independence. See, it's not what we're doing here today. It's not just talking about money. But I tell you, money drives life. Women cannot do so much. So there is no human being, including men, can do so much without finance.
That's true.
So if we want to be empowered, we want to stand for our rights, we want to accelerate actions, what exactly should we do? We also need to become financially independent. So we can go far. You have said a lot of the things you have just said, we need money to drive them. So let me stop.
Thank you, Ejiro. Ejiro said we should seek financial capability. So if you could leave your listeners with one message as for women struggling for empowerment, what would you say?
Accelerate into action. What you need to do now, get support, speak up, and we need men to join us to advocate that women that are not being positioned yet, that have the capacity, should be positioned. And you yourself identify what you have, identify where you want to be, and start making some steps towards.
Thank you so much. Thank you. If you could leave your listeners with one message, what would it be?
So I would say, women, we have urged you to accelerate action. You cannot accelerate action without being intentional. So be intentional, be clear about where you're going as a woman, and put in the necessary action. Take the right steps you need to take, both from within the family space and out there. And you are sure that we'll have great women in magic moving forward. Thank you.
From today's podcast, we've been able to identify some key points, and one of which is it starts with you as a woman, self-discovery. You have to know what you are good at, put in the efforts, develop yourself, gain knowledge, and become visible. Seek visibility. Own your power, uplift others, and seek supportive networks. Thank you.